Hey everybody, a little different video today. I'm here at the garage at home. As you can see, junk everywhere. I made a little purchase the other day. You might have saw a short that I had up for a little bit, but then I deleted it because I realized that I spelled something wrong in the caption, couldn't edit it, and that grated on my nerves, so I just deleted it. But anyway, I've been looking for something for a while, and I finally just dropped the hammer. I found one, and there it is. I done got me a four-wheeler, baby. Yeah, 1999 Polaris Sportsman 500. I sound weird, and I think I'm losing my voice. I don't know. But anyway, I've been wanting one of these for a long time. I know it's an odd thing to want. And most people would say, why didn't you get your Honda or Yamaha? And y'all probably right. Because these things are complex machines to most people, and they, if you don't maintain them, they're probably going to give you problems. In the Honda, you can pour gravel in the crankcase, and they'll probably still run for a while. But this one's pretty good shape. I got it pretty cheap. It has a few issues, but nothing major. I've ridden it around, and I'm happy with it. When I was probably 15, 16 years old, maybe even younger than that, me and a bunch of my buddies around home all rode four-wheelers, and I had a homely little Kawasaki Bayou 185 with it had solid rear suspension, no suspension, mirror end, four-stroke, four-wheeler, whatever. It did the job. But my buddy, he had one of these, and I rode it a few times, and I swear it's like riding a freaking Cadillac. It's like riding an old Buick. It just floats. It was fast as heck. And but anyway, for a big, heavy four-wheel drive four-wheeler, the automatic transmission, I liked it. It was just cushy, comfortable. And I'm 40 years old now, and finally got one 26 years later. I think it's how old this is. It's 99. But we'll zoom in on it here. It only has 326 hours on it. Has the engine braking system on it. Automatic, four-wheel drive, 500cc Polaris, independent front and rear suspension. Its plastic's a little faded on it. One plastic panel here is missing. I don't know where that's at. But the racks aren't busted. Everything's still intact there. I mean, the seat's dry rotted and ripped a little bit, but I was looking on eBay. I can get a whole seat for like 90 bucks. I like the nice big running boards it has instead of a peg that your foot can slip off of. Electric start still works. I haven't tried to pull start, but I'm sure it does. I noticed somebody has wired in a new ignition switch here. This switch right here, every once in a while, will not work, so I guess that's why they bypassed it here. If you look under the seat, they've added an extra. Well, actually, that might be the actual starter solenoid, yeah. But there's some extra wires in there. I think they might have had a winch on it at one point, as you can tell with this bracket up here. Looks like it's got a newer battery in it. It still had the owner's manual here in this little compartment, and the tools are still in there. What else we got? Tires look great on it. They're not dry rotted, got plenty of tread. A little bit of minimal, surface rust on the frame. At some point, it's had a new muffler put in it. The brakes, they seem, they're okay. The rotor's still plenty thick. I can't really see the pads from here. Front brakes, I haven't looked at them really, but it stops. I've ridden it around. The main issue really that I've seen with it is back here in the rear, and I think it's a common issue with them, is on this rear axle, you can see this boot is torn right here, and the boot down here is also torn, and it's been torn a while because I think it's lost most of the grease down in there, and you can hear the axle popping, especially in reverse. But I've already ordered an axle for it. It's like 80, 90 bucks for an Eastlake axle, which I think the in this aftermarket, but I think it's a pretty good piece from what I've read up on a little bit. And they're not too big of a deal to replace. You just take the wheel off, take the hub off the end, and then you kind of got to pop it out of the rear differential here, and then put it back together in reverse. The steering is still fairly tight in it. I got my leg up against the wheel. Hardly got any play at all. If any, it might just be where the scooting on the ground. Headlights do not work. None of the lights work on it, so I need to get in there and dig into that. Probably a fuse or a bad ground somewhere. It belonged to the Florida Wildlife Commission. You can see the property tag right there. The guy I got it from, he buys and sells tractors and stuff at auctions, and this is where he got this. You can see, I guess it had been in storage a while, because that was written on there, and the plastic didn't fade there, but it says state of storage, does not run. But obviously it runs. I've ridden it. So maybe it sat for a long time, didn't run. But like I said, it's low hours, I think, for what they used it for. I'm sure they weren't jumping and beating the dog out of them. So the suspension's still real tight on it. So I think I got me a good bike. I've ordered, I went and bought all the stuff to change the oil in it today. And I already ran some gum out through the carburetor. It wanted to backfire a little bit when he let off the gas, which I think there's another reason for that too. But it's already running better just after running that gum out through it and riding around just a little bit. It just needs to sit blown out of it. But I'm not a big proponent of Fram filters. I'm a Wix/Napa Gold guy, but this is the only one I can find anywhere in stock in a store, just stopping by, you know, thanks Walmart. So got a Fram filter for it. So I think they're better than they used to be. I got some seafoam here. I might run a little bit in the crankcase before I change the oil, clean any sludge out. And I've got me 2 quarts of this Lucas engine oil. The required oil for this is a synthetic 5W50, and it was hard to find anything 5W50 but the Lucas. They had Mobil 1 and all kinds of other stuff in the like different weights, but they didn't have the 5W50. And I also got me NGK spark plug for it, you know, just give it a good little tune up. One thing that I didn't have, that none of the stores had, that I ordered along with my rear axle, I ordered an air filter for it. And I think this might be one of the other reasons it might be backfiring a little bit. It's probably running a little rich because it's probably not getting any air, but that's all right. The air filter is $10. As you can see, it's in rough shape. It is crudded up, but that's all right. We're going to replace it. We'll clean out the air box. Want to make this, we'll take care of this thing. Get it, get the oil changed in it. Need to check all the fluids as far as the coolant, transmission, differentials, stuff like that. One thing I haven't encountered yet, I'm not really sure. I know I've read online just limited information that if this instrument cluster doesn't work properly, then the 4-wheel drive won't work right, because I guess it's like all-wheel drive on demand. It doesn't kick in until one of the wheels slips. I don't know why it has to go through that to make it work, but the light will work on this every once in a while. It's intermittent, so there's a loose ground or a short something somewhere, and the speedometer doesn't work at all. So I don't know. I need to look into that as well. But the brake spurs work good, stops good. And I tell you what, I forgot how fast these things were. This thing runs like a scalded dog. I mean, you're going 50, 60 miles an hour before you know it. And the suspension's so cushy, it doesn't feel like it. But, so it's fast for a big, heavy 4-wheel drive 4-wheeler. Don't let it fool you. The last time I owned a 4-wheeler was right before I got my driver's license. It was after the Bayou 185. I had a 1989 Suzuki 250 Quad Racer, which I'd love to have another one of those. It's a 6-speed manual, 2-stroke sport 4-wheeler. It was half worn out when I got it. Every suspension bushing in it was loose. Shocks were shot, but it was fast and it made that brap, brap, you know, two-stroke sound. Mixed the gas and oil, all that fun stuff. It had like a FMF pipe on it, aftermarket reeds, rejetted. A few odds and ends done to it, but it was getting worn out. It was toward the end, it got to where you could just sit down on the seat wearing flip-flops and kick it over one star. It lost all its compression almost, and I think I sold it for parts. But I'd like to have another nice 250 quad racer someday, even though I'm 40 years old now, and they'd probably kill me or put me in the hospital, but it'd be fun to look at. But anyway, Cliff Notes, got the four-wheeler, got an axle on the way for the rear end, got an air filter on the way. When I get the time, I'm going to change the oil and filter in it, spark plug, give it a little tune-up, and I need to get these lights working before hunting season, or I'm going to have to plug in my spotlight, which it has a connection right here on the side. If it works, you know, I don't know, but it's there. But anyway, here's something I got to distract me from the station wagon more. But, you know, we're on 90 acres out here on the farm. I need something to get around. I've been using my truck as a four-wheeler with air conditioning. But, you know, this is a little more practical. My father-in-law, he can ride it, his four-wheeler that he has up here. It hasn't been running. It's like an early 2000s Yamaha Kodiak or Grizzly 400, and the carburetor's just shot in it. I took it apart and cleaned it, but it's leaking around the seal at the bowl, and it's not. It needs a new carburetor. So it wouldn't start again this summer when I tried to get it going. So I think it got water in the gas or something. But just one more look around here. 1999 Polaris Sportsman 500 four-wheel drive. Happy to have it. I know all the northern guys probably like your Polaris, you know, Snowmobile Central. Down here, it's kind of frowned on because, you know, they're kind of complicated and they take a little more attention to keep them up to snuff. You know, around here, people just want something they can beat the fire out of, and maybe never put a drop oil in it the whole time they own it. Even if it smokes a little bit and won't go 10 miles an hour, they don't care. They're just proud that it goes. But so yeah, if I ever want to do that, I'll buy my stepdad's Honda 300 4-tracks, because that's the quintessential tank that everybody looks up to. But anyway, thanks for checking out my video, looking at my dirty garage. I need to service that lawnmower too, squirrel. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye.